this final question, then depende na lang po sa DepEd kung masasagot. In case there will be an amendment in the NEP to realign confidential funds and good governance programs to specific itemized programs in education, kagaya ng provision ng school supplies, will DepEd be willing and able to utilize such funds? Yun na lang, Madam Chair. Maraming salamat.
Salamat, Rep. Manuel. Madam Secretary.
Yes, opo. I'd like to add to the answer of Yusek Cabiola. We're actually done with the review. We are currently presenting it. We initially presented it to the MANCOM, EXECOM, and then we will present it to other sectors from the government and the private sector as well. And we are currently starting with the review on grades 11 to 12, and then it will go through the same process. It will go through presentations so that comments and suggestions from all the sectors can be collated by the Department of Education, and we come up with the new curriculum for the K-12 program. However, during our discussions, it will take 2 to 3 years for us to implement new curriculum for the K-12. And I am trying to push the curriculum and instruction strand to do it in 1 year, and we will update you on that if we will be able to implement a new curriculum in a year or two. We're talking about academic school year. With regard to the confidential funds, there are so many issues, and you see it in the news with regard to our work in the Department of Education, the issues and challenges that we face in the Department of Education. Some of which very recently in the news are sexual grooming of our learners by their peers or their teachers, the recruitment to terrorism, active shooter copycats and active shooter issues and problems, recruitment in insurgency, recruitment of children in illegal criminal activities, the drug use of DepEd personnel and drug involvement of learners, the success of projects, activities, and programs depend upon very good surveillance and intelligence. Dahil hindi po ninyo matatarget kung sino ang isusolusyon ninyo kapag hindi po kayo nakagather ng credible intelligence and surveillance sa mga problema na gusto nating solusyonan sa loob ng Department of Education. And all this relate to our mandate that we deliver quality, basic education to our learners. And of course, education of our children relates to our national security as well. Thank you.
It will be more efficient and effective if it happens in formal classrooms, is it not?
Honorable Lagman, I beg to disagree because there are immersions outside of the classroom that children still learn, especially when they are outside of the school, where our teachers take our learners to concretely explain the concepts that they want the children to learn.
Meron po kayong 150 million confidential fund sa DepEd. Para po saan ito? Kasi I believe yung Office of the Vice President, meron na siyang 500 million confidential fund na nakalagay. And ito, 150 million. And in the 2021 and 2022 wala pong ganito.
The Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education are two separate entities. They are two separate departments of the government, and they have separate mandates as well. As explained earlier, number one, the success of a project, activity, or program really depends upon very good intelligence and surveillance because you want to target specific issues and challenges. And because these specific issues and challenges are all illegal, like say for example, as previously mentioned, sexual grooming of learners, recruitment in terrorism and violent extremism, drug use of DepEd personnel, these are not laid out for our regular personnel to see. That is why we need the help of the security cluster and the security sector to address these issues and challenges to basic education. And as I said, basic education has a direct link to the national security of our country. We are truly interested in the quality of education of our learners.
Bakit sa kabila ng ganitong kalalang problema ng ating mga estudyante, ang priority legislative agenda pa rin ng DepEd ay ang mandatory ROTC. Ano naman ang kinalaman ng ROTC sa pagpapataas ng reading comprehension, mathematical ability, and science sa ating mga sa ating mga estudyante? Madam Chair.
Madam Secretary.
Yes, thank you. Because the problems on access, equity, quality, resiliency, and well-being and governance, these have already supportive legislation. Ang dami-dami na pong nagawang legislation, magagandang legislation for basic education. And ang nakikita na lang po namin na so far sa ngayon na kailangan ng legislation ay yung mga wala pa pong legislation. So right now we are working on all the laws that were passed by Congress na nagsusuporta sa basic education po. Thank you.
Let us now unite together, have that force, the power of the pulse of the first, and therefore move for the additional budget for the Department of Education. That is why my motion, Mr. Chairman.
Unanimous second motion. Unanimous second motion, Madam Susan.
We heard you loud and clear, Representative Rodriguez. We take note of all of your motions and we shall consider them at the appropriate time, sir.